Hi, I'm Sylvia Nyxx, serving you the best, well, me.
And I'm Jaymes Mansfield, serving you all of, well, Jaymes Mansfield.
And you're watching
Queens of the Ring.
In today's episode, we're counting down our choices for the top 5 wasted potentials in WWE in recent memory.
We're talking NXT call-ups, we're talking indie darlings, anything that WWE has recently squandered.
And disclaimer on this episode, we are not going to be including people like Shinsuke Nakamura or Samoa Joe, who have had their fair share of opportunities that have just kind of come up short.
Sorry, Smarks.
Yes, please don't come for us in the comments.
Or do. I have a disable button, I don't care.
My choice at number 5 is an NXT call-up who I really think should have gone farther than she was, but she was saddled with a terrible gimmick that died right away. I'm talking about Emma.
Emelina.
Yeah. In NXT, she had this delightful, bubbly, you can say, personality that would get over with just about any crowd and was putting on great matches against the likes of Bayley and just about any other NXT woman that was on their roster at the time. And then when she gets called up to WWE,
all we know is that she's Australian and she's now evil and she does this.
And it's truly sad because if you go back and watch her in NXT, she had the potential to be a women's champion.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, at least in a storyline that was better than a vignette.
So my number 5 is actually also a diva.
Oh.
I have to say, wasted potential at number 5 is Naomi.
Oh, Naomi. Well, she was a women's champion a few times.
She was a women's champion for like a cup of coffee.
They gave her own belts. It's like the LED flashing. You don't just give anybody their own belt.
Yeah, but again, it's just like they didn't do anything with her. She had no feuds. And immediately she got injured and they didn't ever follow up with her on that.
Yeah.
They immediately pushed her aside for other girls who we've seen get the belt over and over and over at this time.
True.
Like, isn't Charlotte like almost a 7-time champion now?
Yeah. I mean, but I love Charlotte. Don't speak ill of our Charlotte. But, I mean, going to show, like, Naomi could potentially, and she deserves to be, a main event level woman on the roster right now.
I'm just bummed we're not getting her in the Elimination Chamber match.
Right. Can you
all
imagine?
the high spots she could do? We
didn't get her in a TLC match. She would have been great in the ladder match. She would have been great in that women's last man standing match at Evolution.
I feel like there's like a real lack of just respect for high-flying women.
Yeah.
They don't do a whole lot with, like, storytelling for girls like that. And what is she stuck in now?
Except for Lita, who's hasn't been wrestling since 2000 and
But similar
whatever.
to Lita, she's stuck in like a salacious storyline with Mandy Rose. When all we really need is good wrestling.
Right. And Naomi is just that, a good wrestler. My choice for number 4 is Apollo Cruz.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Apollo Cruz, he doesn't need any introduction. Granted, he doesn't have the same amount of charisma that Vince McMahon is looking for, but what he lacks in a personality, he gets over in his moveset. I mean, look at his moonsaults and all of his flippy shit and all of the amazing things that he does in the ring. And he's been on the main roster for about 3 years now, and it wasn't until recently that we have seen him in anything beyond Titus Worldwide.
Oh, that's who Apollo Cruz is. I was silent because I honestly forgot who he was.
Exactly.
I have to look it up after I'm
But
research.
watch his matches. They're so good.
My number 4 is actually a member of 205 Live, or at least he was.
Oh?
Adrian Neville. We had something great going with Neville.
We really... I'll get back on that later, girl. I will. Adrian Neville, right now, I don't think he's suffering by not being on the WWE roster.
He's doing just fine.
He's doing just fine by himself.
Or Pac. How do you say it? It's Pac.
Pac.
Okay. He had this great undefeated streak going on 205 Live, and what do? He loses the Enzo Amore by getting hit in the balls.
Not to mention, he was the sole reason to watch 205 Live in the beginning. I'm sorry, like, there's a lot of awesome talents on 205 Live, but at the time, the booking wasn't what it should have been. And his gimmick as the king of the cruiserweights was so enticing. And he made you believe that he was like Game of Thrones style evil. And it was just...
And what I think would have been a great booking opportunity that they completely like lost was had they gotten somebody that was a complete underdog, not Enzo Amore, but a complete underdog to overthrow him.
Yeah.
That would have been such a great moment.
It would have been so good. And more on that later, because I think there was one person who I really wanted to see take his throne, as you will. My number 3 is The Revival.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Now, go back and watch the Revival's matches in NXT against American Alpha, DIY, Authors of Pain. These guys are the real deal. No flips, just fists. They even had an internet feud against the world's greatest tag team right now, and I'm not talking about Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. I'm talking about the Young Bucks, which, if you've been paying close attention, a few weeks ago on Raw, they wore on their tights #FTR. They were involved in an online feud with the Young Bucks where the Young Bucks started using that hashtag to say the Revival. And if rumors serve us true, we're probably going to see another wasted WWE opportunity go to All Elite.
So my number 3 is actually someone from our Hottest Guys video.
Oh.
I have to say number 3 of wasted potential that they're just doing nothing with is Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, completely wasted.
He's adorable. He's lovable. He got himself over and they did nothing.
Right, and usually when a guy is able to get himself over, The Rock, hello, WWE pushes them to the moon because they understand the star power that they have. And what do they do with Zack Ryder? Diddly
Nothing.
squat. Put him in stupid squash matches against John Cena.
Totally like, some executive is just like viral. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. He's just big on YouTube.
So-
Not understanding who all watches YouTube.
Exactly. You people! And, an even bigger disappointment than seeing his immediate waste on the main roster is when he finally got his chance, his shot, his WrestleMania moment when he won the 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Instead of pushing him into the moon and giving him this belt and saddling him with one of the most legendary championships in wrestling history, they have him lose it the next day.
But yeah, my baby deserves better.
I agree. My choice for number 2 is a faction. Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, Nikki Cross, and Eric Young. I'm talking about Sanity.
Are they on the main roster?
Exactly! They're on SmackDown, and they've been on SmackDown for almost a year now. And we haven't seen them do anything of note except for Nikki Cross when she made her...
That's what I thought was her debut, because I thought, oh, that's nice. Like, the NXT guys are bringing her up to, push her out. I had no idea.
I'll play Becky. I'll play Becky.
I'll play with you, Becky.
Yes. Anyway, but no, I mean, if you go back and watch, once again, talking about NXT, you saw these guys main event the WWE's first edition of War Games. Killian Dane is a monster. He's something to not be screwed around with.
And they love guys that can talk, and no one's a better talker than Eric Young. Super Eric! He's a promo and he's the package promo.
He is. And then Alexander Wolf, he also has good things to speak of. Not quite Eric Young or Killian Dane or Nikki Cross, but he's still there.
Somebody has to be the sporty spice.
Right. Who's your number 2, girl?
Number 2 would have to be a bit of a cop-out.
Oh.
I would say my number 2 is every person that was signed from the Cruiserweight Classic that now resides on 205 Live.
Oh, Tajiri?
Putting people
no, he's not on 205 Live.
He was there for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
But any guys, we saw the amazing Cruiserweight Classic and everyone got, who aren't familiar with this kind of wrestling like myself.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes. This hard-hitting, strong style, if I'm using that right. Is it?
You are using it right.
I don't know what I use it. It opened my eyes to this sort of wrestling I hadn't seen in a while, and it was really new and interesting.
Yeah.
And what do? They put it on a no network, WWE Network exclusive practically.
And
no one sees it.
I watch all the wrestling that I can. I frequently watch New Japan. I frequently watch Impact. I know it's trash. I love Ring of Honor and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. 205 Live, I don't even watch.
That's the thing, it's free. You can stay behind and watch it. And I've watched a
Right.
couple of recent episodes. I've never seen an audience so dead for how much action is going on in the
No
ring.
kidding.
You can hear the mat.
No, yeah. Ugh. And not the sound effects from the mat. Either.
No.
Just the real mat.
The full-on real
Yeah.
mat. You can hear the guys calling spots.
Yeah. I wish that they would just put 205 Live instead of keeping it a show. They should just keep it on Monday Night Raw again because they have that whole third hour that's... What are they doing with it?
That's the thing, too. It's like, since they have so much, it's like, swap over a belt.
Right.
Like how they used to do in the old days where, like, Raw had women's and SmackDown had cruiserweight.
And...
Like, do something like that or break it up, make a separate belt. I know we already have too many belts, but, like, you're not using the tag teams. Might as well fill a slot with something interesting.
You know, I am thankful that they didn't go through with making a Cruiserweight Tag Team Championship.
Was that a plan?
That was a plan.
Would they bring back the Eagle belts?
No.
I love those belts. Everyone hates them. I think they're so cool.
They're just so tacky.
I love it, the wings on the side. What's your number one, Sylvia?
My choice for number one is another one of our favorite hometown heroes.
Oh, Candice Michelle?
Not quite.
Who?
Austin Aries.
Oh my God.
Talk about an indie darling. Now,
Talk about wasted potential.
Totally a huge waste of potential. Austin Aries can do anything that he puts his mind to in that ring. He's had 5-star matches every company that he's been in except for WWE.
Let's unpack this. What do they do the second they have Austin Aries and they have the Cruiserweight division happening? They put him in the Cruiserweight division
Right.
first off.
It's Austin freaking Aries. Like this man.
Cruiserweight division.
Right. And, you know, not to take anything away from cruiserweights, but this man has won world championships, world heavyweight championships, and so many different indie federations. And Austin Aries is one of the few people who can say that in the mid-2000s, he made a name for himself in the wrestling business without having to be in WWE. There's only 2 other men that I can think of who have accomplished that, and that is Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. Austin Aries being put in the cruiserweight division was a slap in the face of his entire career up until that moment, especially considering at that point, nobody cared about it.
That too, and like, what do they do the second they have him? They put him on the commentary desk.
Right.
They don't even put him in the ring.
And that goes, I mean, we were talking about Adrian Neville earlier today, and these two both got the shaft when they were put in that feud, which was a great feud, by the way. Neville versus Austin Aries. They had 4 or 5 just tremendous matches.
Even their WrestleMania blow-off match was good.
The WrestleMania blow-off match was amazing, and it's insulting that that match wasn't even on WrestleMania's main
No, it was on the
card.
pre-show.
It didn't even make the DVD.
I don't even think it was main event for pre-show.
Nope. But Austin Aries could have potentially been a contender for the Universal Championship if you put him on Monday Night Raw.
And that was where I saw like the real lack in logic there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how do you explain the likes of Seth Rollins or Finn Balor there, who are just the same size and height as him?
Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion, and before he was Finn Balor, we knew him as Prince Devitt.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure me and you in heels are taller than him.
Yeah, we are. We are, definitely. Austin Aries is from our hometown. I've seen him at some of the indie feds way before TNA or Ring of Honor. He's a small guy, and I want to say at the age of like 10, I was probably close to his height. But anyway, like, that just got, we were talking about, you know, the other indie darlings that were given the same shot. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all of these guys were getting huge pushes, and none of them were even using the names that they were using on the indies. Austin Aries kept his name, and they did nothing with him. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, he's... And I call him, this is my own coin for him, the big dick vegan daddy.
Ooh.
And you can't f with that.
He's a vegan and he's from Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So now comes time for my number one, and I feel like it's the most important number one.
Oh gosh. I can't even think of who else you could be talking about.
Brace yourself for
Oh
this.
God, I'm braced.
Alicia Fox. Just kidding. I'm actually going to switch up the game here.
Oh.
I'm going to say Samoa Joe.
We said we weren't going to mention him.
Well, I changed the rules up.
It is your channel. I hate when you change the rules.
I can't think of anyone that hasn't gotten utilized to his full potential like him.
But he was already put in main events at SummerSlam. He had matches against Brock Lesnar. Like, what more could you want?
It was a garbage match against Brock Lesnar.
It was a garbage match against Brock Lesnar. But
like, how do you go from the top of the indies, like you were full on like TNA for so long, demolishing everyone, and they had this full on monster they brought in, and what do they do with it?
Nothing. As he was given opportunities on the main roster. Don't get us wrong. However, you pushed AJ Styles to the moon. Why not do the same with Samoa Joe? You have two separate brands, and AJ Styles, I mean, SmackDown is his brand. It's the house that AJ Styles built. Samoa Joe could have had Raw, and Raw could have been the house that Samoa Joe ate. You don't
He's
need
a bona fide monster.
He is,
and he's shown he can work with anyone in the ring.
So watch his matches in the early 2000s against AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, and watch his matches in Ring of Honor against CM Punk. And instead of giving him a Universal title run that he deserves, you kept it on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
Has he gotten any title since he's been on the main roster?
No.
I feel like if they still had it, he probably would have only been hardcore champion at this point.
He hasn't even gotten the Intercontinental or United States. Like, he deserves at least, like, a thank you. And those titles are the biggest forms of saying thank you.
A thank you for showing up.
Right. Instead of giving him the character that he rightfully deserves, they put it on somebody like Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman.
But the same respect they showed us someone like Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar. Here's the thing, WWE writers, I'll let you in on a secret. If you want to write a storyline for someone like Samoa Joe, here's all you have to do. Hit his music.
Yep.
We all seen him kick the shit out of people.
Right.
Like, just have him show up and beat the shit out of somebody and take a bow.
WWE Creative, we just laid out a ton of superstars that you could be pushing to the moon. And right now, you have a competitor looming on the horizon that has the potential to be the next WCW. So I guess, in the words of the great RuPaul, don't it up. So, until next time, my name is Sylvia Nyxx.
And I'm Jaymes Mansfield.
And you've been watching Queens of the Ring, and we're tagging out.
Click here and see us unbox a Wrestle Crate. Or see our top 5 best or worst ECW moments. Come on, click it. If you don't click it, I'll bury Finn Balor. In kisses, I can never do anything to my baby.